Here we go. We are rolling. This is it. This is episode 367 of No Laugh Track Podcast. I am Justin Severson, the host. The lucky guy who gets to come here once a week to Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis to interview the headlining comedian. Talk?
Chat.
I mean, I don't know. Chat? Swap stories?
Discuss. We get to do it again.
We get to do it again. And this is take 2 with Solomon Georgio, episode 367. The truth is, I'll tell everyone real quickly here, we had just recorded a really good 45-minute episode.
Solid. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Your words. Your words, epic. Yeah. And then we were informed as soon as we got done that there was 26 seconds that survived. So we thought, could we just post video and have people read our lips, or should we just try to do it again and keep it shorter because we have things to do? So
look, I get it. Look, guys, you missed out on possibly the best 45 minutes of my life. So
when the first thing you said when we were done was that you were thinking about using most of it as your next hour special.
Oh yeah, it was going to be my whole hour right there, and now it's gone to the wind. Yeah. It's lost in the canals of history.
So we're going to do our best to recreate it.
Canals. Did I say canals? It's is it it's
anals?
Sure.
No.
So the annals of history.
So here we are. We're doing take 2 here with Solomon Georgio. I will say right off the bat here that we are doing audio and video. People should subscribe to Acme's YouTube page.
Yes, please do.
And to hear, you can see the past episodes within the last couple of weeks with Sean Patton and Jackie Cation, Mike E. Winfield, Bent Washburn, Joe Larson. Are all there, Solomon. And so people should check those out. Subscribe if you're just hearing the audio, whenever you find that. Maybe you want some video too. So go to Acme's YouTube page and subscribe. You won't miss any of them. And your eyes just lit up a little bit when I said Joe Larson.
Yes.
And that's because we have already chatted about this, and let's mention it again.
Yes, because I think that's a good piece of information to reinvigorate.
Yeah, it's not something we're going to skip here.
No.
For people so Joe Larson was here headlining last week at Acme, and it was his second or third time it doesn't matter. We did an update on a tattoo that he got a few years ago, and we didn't really spoil it. He told me a few years ago last week. We didn't want to spoil it. We were just suggesting to people go back to episode 326 when he first describes the tattoo. And but now enough people, I think, have heard it and reached out to me and said what an amazing story that was. You don't know the story.
I didn't until recently.
So let's get the reaction of you hearing about Joe Larson. For people who don't know, very funny comedian, and decided to get a tattoo a few years ago, as he told me, for the story.
Yes.
And he got the words "may contain nuts" on his ball sack.
Still good.
The
second time is still just as good as the first time is hearing it. It is hands down as I said, it's the best worst place. It's it's the smartest and dumbest thing to do to yourself possibly, and I can't help but respect that.
Yeah.
It is
and as Joe Larson told me, that's the exact reason he did it. He did it was for the story. He realizes it's stupid. And but he doesn't regret it either.
Good.
Yeah. And do you have any tattoos?
No, there's 0 tattoos on me. I had some. I've actually wanted to get one made, and I even got the artist to make it. I had a self-given nickname when I was 19, Sweet Molasses Brown, and
That's not real.
It's a very true story.
What?
I paid a tattoo artist money to draw a ferry boat scene with the Sweet Molasses Brown on top of it, and it was going to be a big back piece, and I chickened out immediately and just paid the artist the money for the artwork.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. So it worked out for them.
Yeah, they got money no matter what, and I didn't have to hurt my back.
And do you're happy? You stand by that decision?
I don't regret it.
Well, I suppose because, you could go back and do it now.
I'm not gonna though. I have 0 pain tolerance, and the fact that Joe got it on his testicles is beyond belief. Like that.
Yeah, and for people, imagine I have a friend that owns an apple orchard, and they also grow pumpkins. And this will tie in here. This is something I didn't mention last time. And she does a thing where when the pumpkins first sprout and they're really small, you take like a pen or a knife or something, and you can scrape. Like what she did with my daughters, she scraped their names onto the side of a pumpkin, and then as it gets bigger, the name gets bigger along with the pumpkin. All of a sudden it shows up, and it's a really cool unique gift.
That's cool.
Yeah?
But your testicles don't grow. They stay the same.
So there's
Like, if he got it on his penis, that'd be hilarious. Because it's like, what does that say? And then you're like, oh.
Right. Yeah, so the only way, basically, Joe describes that to get that tattoo so that it looks normal, I mean, you can't just put it on a wrinkly piece of skin. That had to be stretched out to get it accurate. You had to stretch out that balloon. You had to start with the full-grown pumpkin, basically, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Start with the full-grown pumpkin and work backwards.
Look, that is a trooper for a cause.
Yeah.
I don't think I've committed anything that dumped. Well, no, I have, but not permanently.
When I first told you, did you feel it, like in your... like the phantom pain at all?
I haven't felt anything in my nuts in years, and that's just a condition I have.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's fine. It's actually liberating.
It's liberating. Oh, yep. So there's our Joe Larson talk. We're going over the checklist of things that we talked about as we're redoing this here. So here's another one that we talked about. I mentioned our mutual comedic friend Matt Bronner.
Yes, of course.
He did a show here. Not here at Acme. Well, he's been at Acme. He's been on this podcast several times. Great guy. He did a few shows at a different place in town last weekend in the Twin Cities, and posted a video afterwards saying how happy he was with the crowd that showed up. Set was good, but he wanted to point out about how a married couple came up to him after the show, and the husband spoke up and said, "My wife would like to do a line of cocaine with you."
Yes.
Yes.
And here's the thing.
He turned it down.
Yeah, I've obviously turned it down. He's a respectful, polite, kind human man, and actually a very good, sweet human. Like, I think he's one of the best out there.
How much cocaine were you offered last night?
I was offered. Here's the issue: no one offers me drugs because I guess I look like I'm a narc, and I think it's the turtlenecks. I have so many of them, and that's all I've been wearing this winter.
Oh, that's to hide the wire.
Yeah, that's like it immediately looks like you're snitching on everyone. So no one's offering me cocaine, and honestly, yeah, and honestly, that's the right reaction. Is that we, as a collective, as comedians, we do get offered drugs all the time. Matt is one of the rare treats that's like, no. About 90% of the time, you'll get somebody who's like, yes.
I've talked with other comedians in the past, like comedians that are known for doing pot humor,
Yeah.
right? And Minnesota's not a state where you can carry around some weed legally, so, you might want to show up in town and just hope that somebody brings you some. And I've seen comedians flat out mention it on stage, and then of course, what does that lead to? 6 different people out of the audience going, "Hey, let's smoke. Want to smoke a bowl? Let's go in the alley, smoke a bowl. Let's hang out and smoke a bowl."
That's handy. I personally,
it's a vibe you give out.
it's
Either
great, I don't smoke weed, which is also, I definitely would have done cocaine with them, but that's just no, that's not true. I wouldn't do cocaine with anyone. Please do not show up with cocaine unless you already have it and I'm already here. No. But yeah, it's you get offered a lot of things as a comic after a show, and
from men and women.
Yeah, and for me, that's the story. They offered him a line, which I think is I think they were trying to get something else out of him. When somebody was like, "My wife wants to do a line of cocaine with you," I'm like, "There's usually an addendum." Once you can't just trust strangers.
And then as soon as we're high as fuck, we're gonna fuck.
Oh yeah, and once the cocaine's done, both of our penises will go. I'm like, no.
So you liked the set? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I've never been offered any drugs. Been offered a lot of creepy hugs, and people ask me to go to a second location, and I'm like, I can't do that. It's it's a rule I
hope
have.
they don't say it. I'd like to take you to a second location, because that's definitely a red flag.
Well, they definitely tell me the second location, and I'm just still like, I can't.
Right.
I'm gonna go do something in the opposite side of town.
I'm gonna make something up that I'm gonna go do right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going right back to my hotel room to play Nintendo. That is for sure not what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Which is actually what I always do.
Do you travel with video games?
I do. I travel. I have a Switch, so it's a handheld, so you can take it anywhere.
No kidding. I mean, I knew that, but you're doing that, huh?
Oh, of course. Yeah. There's actually people who take a whole a whole PlayStation with them as they travel, and it is a good time waster.
Yeah.
It's the best way to get a whole day out of the way, because like that's what you have to do when you're on the road. Like you have to figure out what to do with your whole day.
Right.
And Minneapolis, I love you, but it is cold.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have much outdoor time to give. So I have to be inside playing video games.
You don't want to go ice fishing?
I don't think I'll ever do that, regardless of where I am. It's not specifically Minneapolis. I would never ever go ice anything.
Mm-hmm. Ice skating?
No. See, it's anything that requires me to be in the cold for a long duration of time. I'm probably all the way out.
You're 6'4". That's a long way to fall.
Yeah,
as well.
it's and the ice is never soft. It's decides to always be painful to land on, and that's what I have an issue with.
Yeah, I know someone that's an orthopedic surgeon, and he lives in the perfect place. So many people fall and break their wrists and ankles, and steady work forever.
See,
he'll never run out.
See, that's good investment,
right?
Yeah, that's what you're looking around to see what the best thing you can do to get money, and see, more power to him.
Yeah.
But he will never see me as a patient. I can assure you of that.
At least not with that story.
Oh no, not with an ice skating story.
Fair.
Like I probably would fall down a set of stairs on my own regards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's well.
Yeah, they were not slippery. I was just trying to move
spikes
forward.
on my boots, and they were carpeted, and I still hit every one of them on the way down.
It was Velcro floor, and I don't even know. I still managed to fall.
So, the last time we were here was a little over 2 years ago.
Yes.
That was episode 279, and you had recently released your album, and we talked about that. And me, as a uncomfortable white guy saying certain words in front of a black guy in front of me, you teased me because I had a really hard time. I paused and basically waited for you to say it. The name of your album. We're 2 years later. I'm woke now, bro.
The way you say it scares me.
It scared me too. I take it all back. Homo Negro Superior is the name of your album. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Still available.
Yeah, everywhere comedy album can be purchased or listened to. It's all digital. I have no physical copies of my album.
Okay.
So if you come to the show expecting a copy, I have none. I can sign your phone if you download it. But that's the most I can do.
So, are you selling? Do you have any merch or anything you're selling on the road here?
I'm one of those people who knows the value of selling merch and still don't do it. My laziness is a strong brand. It is. I love traveling and I love writing material. I like going out of my way, but anything outside of that, sorry guys,
You missed. You could have got some money out of me because I'm on a hot streak of buying the T-shirt or whatever from the talent that's in town.
Oh, believe me,
my collection is getting big, and I'm happy about that.
And honestly, I feel bad, and I
Sell me the
feel
T-shirt
bad.
you're wearing right now.
It's a turtleneck, and you can't afford it. Because
I'm not going to argue that.
It doubles in value once I wear it, and it wasn't cheap to begin with, so it's really. Like, I don't want you to spend too much money.
I appreciate that. I probably wouldn't get my money's worth. I wouldn't wear it enough.
See, that's the thing. When it comes to the turtleneck, it's such. This is. I don't get to wear it in LA. So this is like me enjoying myself.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm elated. I have 5 turtlenecks ready to go.
Do they just when you get back home? Do they stay in the suitcase for the next road trip to a cold climate?
I have. Like right now in LA, it is that perfect climate at night where I can still pull them out. Just during the day, I'm wearing short sleeves and just waiting for the evening when I could finally throw my turtleneck on like a weird superhero. Turtleneck man.
Not Turtle Man. Turtleneck Man.
Turtleneck man. He's just really comfortable and likes to say perchance a lot.
No kerchief here.
Nope.
That area's
Look,
already covered.
I might get a kerchief. We don't know. I actually own a couple. I need to start wearing them out.
Really?
Yes. I have an ascot. I have a cape. I've acquired a lot of fancy things that people shouldn't have.
Does the cape? Did I see you wear that on Two
Yes,
Dope Queens?
One of my capes I wore on Two Dope Queens. I should have said capes. I said one, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
There's more than one.
Plural. Yeah.
Yes, I'm always going to be a multiple cape person.
I love that. That's awesome.
And there's also cloaks. There's a difference.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
There's a cloak is longer.
Sure.
Sure.
I think yes. Cloaks are longer. Capes tend to be a little shorter.
Cloak probably goes around, surrounds you more.
Cloak
correct?
is floor length.
Floor length. Yeah.
Anything shorter than that is a cape. Well,
Okay.
like it's really. I think it really depends on how you feel.
What would Superman say about capes?
He'd say that I own too many capes. Is what he'd say. He's like, you don't do anything to help the world.
What is your superpower? So I want to talk briefly again about there was the Richard Pryor special that
Yes.
was on TV about a week ago. I watched it. It's if you can find it on demand or whatever, it's worth watching.
Yeah,
if
was
you're
it
a comedy
CNN
fan.
or-
No, it was on ABC.
ABC. Wow.
Network TV.
They're taking risks at ABC.
Yeah, hey, TGI Friday. They're not settling just for Urkel anymore. They're going a little more hard edge comedy there.
Oh, good.
So it's a really good special. I learned some things about Pryor that I didn't know before. But one thing that really stood out to me, when his album came out, this N-word crazy.
Yeah.
And he was doing a tour of, he was doing media stuff,
Yeah.
promoting it, doing performances, and he was on the Dick Cavett show, and Dick is holding the album, and it says the name right there, and he's just like, he flat out says, I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say the name of this title on television, and it brought me back
Yes.
to doing the podcast with you, and I'm like, and then your album that you wanna say, and they're not on the same level.
Yeah, they're
But-
not, but it's also fun. As we mentioned before, I love watching white people be uncomfortable saying words, and I'm sure Dick Cavett has said nigga many a times. I'm 100% sure he probably said it as Richard Pryor was showing up to set that day.
Yeah, is that N here yet or what?
Yes, like I wouldn't be surprised. But it's always nice to see the oh, I gotta be careful. You're like, all right, couple of drinks and no black people around. I don't know.
That's the what's the classic? What's the first line of one of those jokes? Is the
Oh,
looking
the,
over your shoulder? Right?
The best part of somebody about to tell a racist joke is look. I can't remember.
It's something
been
like
so
that,
long.
yeah.
Ah, man.
Something like that.
I'll remember one day.
Something like that. Let me
If anybody
check.
remembers a street joke, please send me an email at no, don't.
Let's talk about. Well, I want to mention the people that are working with you this week. The
Yes.
MC is Mike Hurley, and the feature is Mike Lester.
Mike and Mike.
Mike and
Eminem.
Mike on stage, and then not Mike.
Yes,
Mike,
the
and not
third,
Mike.
Yeah, that just oddly enough, I think I'm just gonna go by Mike for the rest of the weekend. Just to, I don't want to.
Mikey, Michael.
I don't want to interrupt the flow because it seems like it's the right thing to do. My dad's middle name is Michael, so I should use that.
It is.
No, it's his last name actually. I forgot that my dad's last name is Michael. What is my dad's last name? I keep forgetting. We don't have the same last name, so it's.
Yeah, I like that. Three Mikes. So we talked about that.
Two white mics and one black mic.
I totally lost my train of thought now. What was I saying? Beep, burp, beep, burp. Now you're gonna have to do some editing.
Oh well.
Because I forgot my train of
No,
thought here.
keep it.
Oh, keep it.
I don't want like with it's like.
I know Mike
like
Lester.
raw moment. Yes.
Yeah. So Mike Lester's he announced on Facebook that if people are Mike Lester fans, they need to come. Not only, I mean, a great reason to come is because Solomon Georgio's here, and he hasn't been here in 2 years. But Mike Lester, who you may know from being around here more than Solomon, he's leaving town. And
Yeah.
he's a funny guy. He's announced it. So as he flat out told me before the show, he's like, I'm like an inmate on death row. I'm just giving zero fucks.
And
Sit back and enjoy.
And honestly, he's so fucking funny. So I can only if this is him unhinged, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And it's worth watching because it's a fun watch.
So people definitely need it. It's just another good reason to
Look,
come
if
to
you
the
want to
shows.
see a loose cannon.
Yes.
But he's still like even he's like I'm just going like it's still very great construct to jokes. So it's like you're not really like you're definitely it's just really fun to watch, especially when he's riffing. It's just so.
And he also has one of those things where he may be it may be a well rehearsed bit, but it may sound riffed because
Yeah.
he's that good.
Yeah, he
right?
is
Yeah.
hands down.
Let's talk real quickly about some of you've done some writing in the
Yes, I
last year or
have.
so. You're not just a
Yes.
stand-up comedian. You do writing. You
Yes,
write funny things.
I'm very wealthy now, and most of it is through writing for television.
You didn't blow all the money on turtlenecks yet.
Oh, no, I have. That's why I have to still keep working on TV. I'm tomorrow, Friday the 24th. I wrote for season 2 of Shrill, starring A.D. Bryant, who is a brilliant, genius person, comedian, hard worker, and just phenomenal. And then coming up on Valentine's Day, they're releasing a TV remake of the High Fidelity, which will be starring Zoe Kravitz playing the iconic role played by John Cusack in the movie. And she's also another icon, legend. And I don't know how this happened, but I get to have amazing, brilliant celebrities in my life that I get to write for. So I'm a lucky boy.
Yeah. And Shrill is available on Hulu?
Shrill and High Fidelity will both be on Hulu.
So High Fidelity is not a TV, it's a movie.
It's a TV show as well.
It
both
is?
TV shows, and they're both going to be on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
And I wrote on both of them, and people are just going to have to accept that.
I saw you in was it last year on Crashing?
Yes, I actually wrote for that show as well,
Right.
and then I got to make a brief appearance as myself, which was pretty fun.
Right?
It's the role I was meant to play was just me.
We cast this thing, and you were the best. Right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's like we thought we wrote the part in, and you seem to be the most fitting person for it. We're like, fantastic. I really like it.
What did you write just for one episode of Crashing?
Well, for Crashing, I was more along the lines of was pitching and helping do rewrites. Because when you're in a room, it's like you do for Shrill and High Fidelity, there's 2 episodes specifically say that they're written by me, but it's a team. Everyone works together as a team. Everyone rewrites as a team. Everyone pitches and starts helps put together the outline as a team. So it's like you get the credit for that episode, but it's not a solo venture by any means.
Sure. You know, in our last, in our one we recorded an hour ago, something I never asked you, acting? How are you in acting?
It's a thing I love to do, but it is a harder game to break into. And I don't try as hard as other people to get into the world of acting. I definitely want to do it, but I'm not if I don't get the part, all's gonna fall apart. It is what it is, and if I get more parts, great. If I don't, oh well, que sera.
Yeah. What would be the perfect balance for you career-wise, with comedy, doing stand-up, performing stand-up in front of a crowd, and writing or acting?
Well, my end goal is to sell my own show and also be the star of it, and then I just feel like it's a Seinfeld dream. It's everyone wants that. But also if it never happens, I'm fine because my dreams kind of already came true. So it's good.
So I also didn't mention this, but your episode, it's like a year and a half old now, of You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes. I listened back to that one. It is fantastic. You two cover a lot of the things that we didn't, that I decided I didn't want to get into, more of the, your history of where you started. And you guys talk a lot about when you came out of the closet and all types of stuff. And I just encourage everyone who wants to get that part of your story should definitely listen to that episode. Of You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes.
Yeah, and if you could remind me of what I said, that'd be great. Because I the second I step out of a podcast, I'm like, did I give too much away? Who knows? I might have given my social security number on that one. Who knows?
I've been using it for
good, please,
for a week
thank you.
now, and
somebody needs to bring that credit score up.
You're welcome. You're welcome, by the way. No, one of the things. Shit, now I did it again. I forgot. One of the things you guys talked about on there was, he says that this sounds like a movie. Your life story sounds like a movie.
Oh, wow.
And maybe you don't remember that. But he says that, and I had been thinking that for the last 10 minutes listening to it, is you're going back to, living in that camp or whatever, when
I was born, yes.
In the Sudan, and running away from home, and living in a hostel, and that could be a movie, a series.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a story.
It. I'm gonna do it one day just very lazy about it right now. But
Not trying to put the pressure on.
That's developing takes some time. So it's like I've been out there pitching and trying to get stuff done, but I can't complain to get to work on other people's stuff and get paid money to tell another person's story, because that's pretty goddamn fun too.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. We don't know what the future holds.
Mm-hmm. One other thing I want to ask you is when you because you talk about family in your act quite a bit, or sometimes you do.
Oh, a lot. Every single time.
Yeah. Are there any members of the family that are hearing things and like, Solomon, maybe that's too private, or that upsets me, or is it the opposite? Like, hey, you're forgetting a part of the story.
My siblings are like, my younger brothers are very much like, actually, this is how it happened, and then you're like, fantastic, I forgot that chunk. My mom, my parents tend not to watch most of my comedy, so I'm pretty like, it's a.
Do you like it that way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to be loose. I don't want like I know they're gonna eventually one day hear this or that, but I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
Like my parents were shitty, so I get to say whatever I want to about them on stage. It's the they don't have to apologize to me, in return I don't have to apologize to them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that could work out for everybody.
It's an even balance. It's a fair trade. That's what I say. Like, look, if you're not gonna do, you kind of sucked. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit of shit. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I've never had any pushback from anyone. I think it's for them, like, I've been lucky enough, it's mostly my brothers, and they're both very much like, say this instead. This is exactly what happened. So, like, I get the juicier details, which is the best way to live your life.
Yeah. All right. Brandon, I'm going a little farther here. I'm going a little farther.
Just a little farther?
I got one more.
Yeah.
That we need to quickly rehash. So, on stage last night, you mentioned the first gay bar you went to.
Oh, yes.
And then I was at the show last night with my wife and another couple, and on the way home, my guy friend is like, hey, that gay bar that Solomon mentioned last night is going to the first one. I went to that bar, and it's the first time I went into a gay bar. And my friend's straight. Yeah. He went there with another guy and a few women. They just went to like any other reason. People go to have fun at a bar and do some drinking. And he was describing it. He just like you did. Like there's the dance floor. Like one level has a dance floor, another level.
Dartboards and
pool tables, and that's where they ended up hanging out. And he told me he's never, when they left, he never felt more like a piece of meat. Didn't pay for one drink the whole night, and he was happy they went, but didn't like the meat aspect of it.
Well, too bad for him.
Too bad for him.
That's how it's gonna work. First of all, I went there for 10 years. No one ever treated me like a piece of meat or bought me a drink. So he owes me. As far as I'm concerned, next time I see him, he has to treat me like a piece of meat.
How many drinks does he owe you?
Oh, however many he drank. But no, look. If you look like a slightly uncomfortable straight guy in a gay bar, you're gonna get honed in on.
He's a handsome guy, so I mean, I could see him getting attention.
Well, that's even more disrespectful. I don't get treated like that.
I'm boo, homo negro. I don't know what you're talking about.
All's fair. But no, yeah, no one's ever. I think one person bought me a drink the whole time I was there, and he was like in his 50s when I was I was not 19 when I was there. When I was like 21, I was like, sir, I'm okay.
By the way, we did the math because you describe. I mean, this wasn't recent, obviously.
No.
As you just told me just now, you started going there for 10 years. Then we did the math. You literally, this could have been the same night. Like
I could have bought him a drink, probably.
I was
probably harassing him.
We did the math, and it's probably the same year.
That's not true. I don't play darts, so I've never met this man in my life.
Everything lines up with the dartboard.
Yeah, I like that. That was the floor I would just walk right past. I never ever stopped for a moment.
What was the other floor?
Because there's the first floor is just a regular bar and like with like seats and TV screens, and then this third floor is where the dance floor is. So the middle floor is just like pool tables and dartboards, which is like I play pool, but not when I'm trying to fuck. So yeah, I've never.
Minnesota Fats over here.
Yeah, like I probably spent all of 10 minutes on that floor because it's just on the way to the first and the third
Are
floor.
you trying to say that that's where the
Straight
heterosexual people hang out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's how we know to come and buy them drinks and touch their bodies.
Solomon, you're the best. I don't think we can top that.
No,
I mean,
thank
we
you.
topped it an hour ago, but no one's going to hear that. So.
Oh well, yeah, we'll know. We'll know.
We'll know. And the beauty of it is, when you hopefully come back a year from now,
Yeah.
I still have stuff here that we're going to
we'll
talk
do it
about.
all over again.
We're going to do it
We'll get to
all
bring
over
it up,
again.
and I will for sure forget. So
Yeah.
you can easily bring it up like it's brand new to me.
Perfect. This has been great. If we get this posted today, it's Thursday. You have show tonight, and then 2 Friday, 2 Saturday.
Exactly.
Get on the phone, get on the internet, and get those tickets and come see the show.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Boom. Now we're done.